Alright guys, here we go. This is the finals. Roland Garcia versus Jason Brown. You got Scott Rayburn in the booth.
No, actually, this is, pardon me to step on your toes, but this is Roland Garcia versus BJ Ussery for
Oh,
the
I'm
finals.
sorry. My fault, guys.
Yeah, that on the screen, it was the
Yeah,
last match.
yeah, that's the last match. Let me change this around.
Yeah, we'll let Calvin get on that, and I'll talk about what's going on here. Roland Garcia has fought his way back from a loss to BJ Ussery earlier for this opportunity to face him again in the finals. Now, Calvin is a true double elimination, that's right?
Yeah, it is true
Okay.
double elimination.
Oh, he hit it squarely. So it took the tangent line straight across. He needed to cut that ball a little more to get into the foot rail and then spin two rails down here near the 6. So that's going to give BJ Ussery ball in hand here. And listen, BJ's been ultra solid. He's beaten Efren Reyes. He just beat everybody, and he won the hot seat. And just beat Garcia moments ago. Garcia went on to beat Jason Brown. Can we get a view from above here, Calvin?
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's previous. Same issue we had earlier. Okay. Well, yeah, that's okay. He's helped us out here. Well, this isn't too bad. He'll be able to negotiate this easily. Once he gets out of this area back here, his ball in hand here, so he'll give himself get close to the rail here, and then have a little angle on the 6 to get out of that trap there. That's ideal. And he can go forward to the rail with a little right spin, approaching center table. And I don't think that he wants to get all the way straight on this ball. I think he wants to stay a little short of straight in, so then it can get to center table for the 5, right? Wouldn't you say, Calvin?
Yeah, I think that's the ideal way to go with this, but
Unless he's planning on brushing the 7-9. If the 7 doesn't pass the 9 to the corner, then he may be thinking go ahead and break this up a little bit and still have the 5 in the right corner. Maybe that's what he's thinking here. So maybe his intention then is to get a hair beyond straight in on this 4. Yes, he's indicating there. That way he can go into the 7-9, split those open, maybe bank the 7 out in the open a little bit, push the 9 down towards the corner. He's definitely there to do that. And then he'll end up getting about where the 9 is, maybe a hair past that for the 5 in the right corner. He should be fine on this. If he hits a 7 with any speed at all, and 9 about the same time, you see what's going to happen. The 7's going to come back out. 9's going to go 4. He might miss a 7 altogether, to be honest. No, he hit it with pace. Oh, did he do enough? It's close. He hit it with a little more stun than high. It looks like he might have needed a little more high ball there. Well, okay. Judging by BJ's way he's studying the 6 ball here, I think he's okay. Except for the 7 passing the 9, but the 7 plays easily in the side from down table, anywhere near the spot, rack area. So look for him to put a good stroke here and get back for the 7 ball on the side. Anyway, in the booth here, I'm here with Calvin. I'm Scott Rabin.
I'm Calvin Lee.
There we go. That's who's trying to guess what these guys are going to do for you. Ooh, he really put a stroke to that.
Yeah, I think he did that just because, I mean, there's nowhere really bad that he can get if he goes too far, but he doesn't want to fall short, right?
Well, look, I mean, he only missed the corner pocket by half a diamond up there. Had he maybe cut the ball a little more down here, mishit it by a millimeter, that could have been several inches up there. He could have scratched.
Right.
He'll jam this in. Yeah, force that rail to get over. There we go. That's great. That's good enough on this nice plain diamond.
Alright.
BJ Ussery trying to win another title just like he did a couple of weeks ago.
That's right.
Beating Efren Reyes in the finals.
You got the score and the overhead?
No.
Overhead was the issue.
Yeah, the overhead.
You got it?
No, I don't got it.
Can you fix the overhead?
It won't take but a second to fix it. Sorry, Scott.
That's all right.
All right, guys, we just had to get the overhead fixed there. Now we're good.
Okay, I've been bragging on him about this. Watch us control the cue ball. Okay, you got around the front of him a little bit there. Okay, look at this.
Ooh.
Okay. Do you see all that movement? Because he got around the front of the head
Right.
ball a little too much, and then the cue ball came off and was going towards that right
It
side
got
pocket.
kissed and got pushed back on the line, but then it got kissed a couple times on the way down too.
He has not stumbled on the break very much, but right there, he did just a little bit. But it's okay, because he didn't scratch, so
Yeah.
that
he's
gives
still
him
at the
control.
table.
And, you know, we're playing basically, it's 10 ball, but it's just, we're not playing all the call shot stuff and the
Right.
and this and that and the call ball. It's basically just 9 ball rules, 10 ball. That's what we're doing. Now, as I look at it from the overhead, can we switch back to that Calvin here? Okay, he can see pretty full on the one. Does he want to get all out aggressive and bank at this and draw his ball for position in 3? Bank it firm and stiff, touch the low right, maybe cut it a hair to his left. Or do you think he wants to feather this one,
Yeah, that was the first shot I seen.
go down between, go into the 8-10 area, and then end up behind the, is that the 4 there?
Ball. Yeah.
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 That's,
That was my first initial shot that I would see, but then again, you know, I don't see all these shots as quickly as Scott does. All the options, that is.
let's see what he does with this. He's got that in mind. I mean, it can go wrong.
He's a little elevated here, so, well, he was elevating.
I mean, it's not a straight bank. It's not a stop shot bank. He's got to cut the ball to his left a little bit if he banks it. But it looks like he's rolling, so he's going to be
So
playing
go
safe.
into the 8.
Oh, he played under that? No.
I think
He
that was just a
mishit that.
misjudgment. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a,
Yeah.
because he did not want to hit the 4. He wanted to go
hit the
past
8.
the 4, hit
Yeah,
the 8.
Hit the 8, go into the side rail, and be behind the 4, right?
Well, this has really become a pretty easy out after this one ball here for Garcia.
He is over the top of his 8. So
I don't think that's any issue at all. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
look,
after
the 8's the only tricky one, and the
Yeah.
6-7 opens that up, leads you into it nicely. So
Yeah.
he's good.
Yeah. So just a little bit of a mishit on the one ball there by BJ.
No, he didn't do it because he didn't need to, but right there he could have chipped the 8,
Mm-hmm.
cutting it towards the rack area,
the
and
cue
then he
ball
would have
comes
still been
down,
center
yeah.
table for the 5. He'd have been fine, but he chose not to because he didn't really need to.
Right.
And that's an example of where sometimes it's okay to do that to make your future out easier, but sometimes it can only serve to get you in more trouble.
Right.
You know.
And something I think Buddy Hall said was, you know, don't play shape if you already have it. You know.
I see Jeffrey Wade in our chat also called that same shot, rolled the cue ball into the 8, one on the side rail. Yeah, that's right. Turns out Jeffrey knows what he's talking about. He's a good player too, apparently. Yeah, because that's a shot that it's a natural line, you know, you want to see. So is he up table on this? So he flags it and plays the combo? Not going down. Okay. No need not to do that. It was a good shot. Yeah. And really, there's zones on the table. You put a stroke to the ball to fall in this zone or that zone, because the 8's really from down there. It's kind of a tap in. So.
Right.
Man, Calvin, I'm not around pool as much as I used to be. Every once in a while, I'll do a little commentary, but let me tell you, I really miss it. I wish I could get back to playing a little bit. It's been so much a part of my life, you know, for so long. And I've met some of my best, closest, lifelong friends in the pool world.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, well,
they're good people all over to
definitely
play
miss
this game.
seeing you play, man. That's for sure. Or just having you around is great, you know. Just being in the same building.
Well,
is
it's fun. It's fun seeing all
Yeah.
you guys and friends and people I haven't seen in years. I saw a guy a little while ago that I met when I was in college when I was 19.
Mhm.
Okay, this was yesterday.
Right.
He spoke to me and he said, "You remember me?" And I said, "Man, you look familiar." He said it was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
About 30 years ago exactly. You were in college, and I knew exactly who he was.
Mhm.
Yeah, knew exactly who he was after he said that, and caught up with him. But some of my best, closest, lifelong friends I've
Yeah.
met from pool. Okay, so the 10's going to spot here.
Mm-hmm.
This is interesting. This reminds me of something that came up earlier, but it's a little different.
What if the 10 had been in the way of the shot? Now, does it spot right away or
I think if it had been in the way of the shot, then it may spot after.
after?
Or maybe it doesn't.
In Mike's tournaments, in his other tournaments, that's the rule. Like, you know, if you break and you make the 9 and it spots and it's in the way of your first shot, then it spots after. But you know, we might. It hasn't come up yet, so
Right. We'll visit it if it does.
yeah.
I don't know. I'm used to 9-ball tournaments where the 9 does not count in the bottom 2, things like that, or 10 doesn't count anywhere. But yeah, as far as that, I don't know. Now there's a case where he looked like he was attempting that shot where you bank the 1 away and you let the cue ball float forward barely with a little right spin and spin in behind the 2,
Right.
just to get the edge of the 2
Right.
to hook him. And he nudged the 2 that time.
Yeah.
But it was harder than it was in a previous match that we did a little while ago.
Where he did it on the 8 ball.
Because he was close to the ball and he could
Right.
really control that.
Yeah.
So he's left the shot here, but this isn't any kind of shot that I'd love. I mean, he's got to get back on that 2. That's a tall order.
You know.
I'm wondering if he doesn't play a safety where he sort of half massays. I mean, just a little elevated, a little lower right. Hit about a half ball hit on the 1, shooting it to the right here, past the 7.
Coming behind
Cue
the
ball
6.
floats in between the 6-8.
Yeah.
Look, okay, he's elevating. Is he shooting that shot? Is he going to play a safety
I
here?
think he's going.
No,
all
he went
out
for
here,
it. Look
yeah.
at this. And he put a great stroke to it. And
he's gonna. He's not gonna get fully rewarded for this. I think he's behind the 9 where he can't see. Yeah, he's behind the 9.
he's got a real good shot of making this jump, though.
Yeah.
Real good shot. Okay, so apparently he did have enough of a flat ball to get after that ball and go for it. He put a great stroke on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it appeared to me that he had more angle, and that 4 was going to come into play.
Yeah.
But that's all right. It didn't. So good for him. So sometimes this ball rail first isn't terrible, but that may lead to a scratch in the side off the 4.
Right.
I think he's looking at that if he plays it rail first, if he can come down in between the 4-3. But if he has any high ball in it, it may go towards the 4 and scratch off the 4. But I don't think he has to hit it with high ball necessarily, but just the weight of the ball is going to track towards the 4 a little bit, unless he hits it a little more firmly. So typically players at BJ Speed recognize that. So notice he's not hitting it. He's digging down on the ball a little bit. Well, he still caught it then. Okay, Garcia's going to have the opportunity to take the lead here. It looks like the 3 ball has to be played. Doesn't play here because of the 6. So can you get the 3 on the right side, or is that 9 in the way? No, it plays past the 6 apparently. He played for it. Okay. Camera faked me out. Boy, pool's fun, isn't it? Don't you like playing?
Oh yeah. I
Oh,
love
man.
it.
Twice across to the backside or go 3? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong ball. In my mind, I was playing shape to the 7.
6. You thought he was shooting the 6 ball there?
No, I thought he was shooting that one and then the 7 next.
Oh, okay.
I didn't see the
You
6
didn't
over
see the 6.
All right. Now this 8 ball is causing a little bit of an issue here.
Yeah, because he can't go backwards.
Even if he goes with a high right, there's going to be a shock, a little stun off of the 6, and he might catch part of the 8 coming out, and it might alter his path.
Right.
If he could play this 6 cleanly, he could definitely do it on a slower hit, but then he doesn't get the action he needs to fall on the 7.
Right.
So what he'll want to do here is cut the 6. Oh, I don't know. He might have to intentionally play to hit the 8 and work it out that way. Yeah, see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Use the 8 to get.
But look at
the
this.
shape.
Look at this. Okay, this ball banks, right? Yeah, I think it banks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's off the rail, and the cue ball appears to be farther up than. But yeah, and even on diamonds, if it were almost straight, you can still bank it. That ball tightens up easy.
Right.
Yeah, he should be okay. Might just have to shoot the 9 a little farther away than he wants. It's gonna be fine.
I don't think so.
I mean, he's good, right? He can see it. I don't know.
I don't know.
He's sweating it like it's close.
I don't think this ball. I don't think he can see enough of this ball.
Well, he definitely was a little careless with the cue ball there. He blasted at that bank and hit it all haphazardly, and you know, yeah, he was hooked partially.
Yeah.
What a big difference! I mean, what a roll! I mean,
Yeah.
good or bad, it's amazing how one little thing can make the difference.
Mhm.
We thought earlier for sure Garcia was out,
Right.
and now it's back to BJ again.
Right. I keep saying it, like. All right.
One thing that you have to respect about BJ is that he's worked hard, to get to where he's gotten. He's worked hard. He's
Yeah.
put a lot of time. And he's driven to be a good player. He takes it personally, I think. And some people think he has a little chip on their shoulder about that, and maybe so sometimes. But we all know players like that. But it's one thing that's made him become the player that he has. But it's really hard work. Look at the cue ball pause there. I mean, it was just floating. I mean, he's had that great cue ball control all weekend,
Yeah.
and he's had the best break that I've seen.
Yeah, I think all weekend he's been the most consistent breaker.
I think that's really what puts him here. So much.
Right.
He plays like crazy too. He plays great pool, negotiates the table well, plays great patterns. But I think the difference really has been the break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to bring up a sore memory here, but yeah, it showed up a lot in your match, like how big that break was.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, because I had a 6-2 lead or
Yeah,
something,
no,
6-3. It was almost 6-2. It should have been
It
6-2,
yeah,
and
it
I
was
messed
5.
up.
It was 5. Yeah.
You got to take this. There's no question. You take this shot.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why Garcia would have pushed to this easy a jump shot. No, it's a little bit of a scramble as to whether you get the shot or not after this, but because he does have to cut the 8. If you look closely at the screen, you can see it's a pretty good cut. I don't even know if half ball hit makes it. Maybe a little less than half. But the cue ball's going to go. You have to sweat scratching in the opposite side and scrambling the 7, 8, 10 and see what you get. But yeah, you have to go with this. You wish you could hit the one where a little more on the right. You could hit a little more fuller and control your cue ball more. Maybe play the 2-rail pattern coming into the middle of the table towards the 2. But I think this one's going to be moving a little more because he wants to make sure that he cuts it and make it. He might hit it slowly enough to where, yes, he hit it too full. He might make it 6. Ooh.
Oh, that's tough there. That's tough. So this push out so far is kind of panned out.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going to happen here yet, but are we going to see him kick this ball 2 rails?
Yeah. I think that in this case he'll try to hit this side of the 1. Causing separation. Maybe the 1 goes down behind goes to the lower left side rail above the 4 behind the 8-7.
Okay.
Maybe the cue ball ends up, maybe the 5 gets involved some way. But, mainly to cause separation, and hopefully you get a little roll here.
Right.
Well, for sure, it's better just to get a hit than to try to hit a certain side of the ball and miss.
Right.
Just make sure you get the hit. At least maybe you get a break or roll. Pays to hit him. Okay, hit it full, and he made it.
There we go.
He made it. I guess if you're going to kick it in, that's great too.
Yeah. Does he cross-side this ball?
I don't know. That puts the cue ball down to the bottom end of the table. Don't you want a little position?
Not on the 3.
So because of that, maybe it's a Safety and banking it that way, involving the 7-10. Maybe feather it and go 2 rails to the 3rd rail, maybe behind the 8. Is there any value in cutting it back and then bringing the cue ball down here, zigzag? Yeah, I don't know, just talking out loud here.
Now, can you go behind the 8 and just leave the 2 on the side rail there?
Well, yeah, that's what I meant with the feather hit, you know. But he looks to be hitting a pretty full. Yeah. Oh, I don't think he meant to hit that 10. Yeah. Yeah, he definitely didn't mean to hit the 10. Now, the 4 passing the 10 is the question. I think it goes. It appears to go pretty easily. Yeah. Yeah, it goes. I think here's a case where he doesn't try to get straight on a 3. You fall short of straight on a 3. Oh, he's going to draw it. I think he roll up. He's looking to draw it and shoot the 3 in the corner. No, that was curious. I thought he would float forward, play the 3 in the side, and go 3 rails around the 5 for the 4 straight in the corner. This is interesting. Now see this puts, unless you really put a good fluid, slow power, but stroke to this, you're dealing with the side pocket and the 4 ball. Right. Maybe he goes past the 4 and shoots the 4 up here. That to me seemed like an unforced error. Couldn't he have played that? Maybe, you know, maybe it's again us, Calvin. We're in the booth. We can't see exactly what angle he had.
Right.
So he got it. Maybe he knows what's up. But Mr. Wade, I am with you. What just happened? Okay.
Okay, so again, this is it's tough. Like, you get jacked up over a lot of balls playing on the bar table.
Yeah. You know, we've talked in previous matches about the great bar table areas of the country, like South Carolina has a big bar table area. You go to Florida, no, it's no bar, it's big table for the most part. The serious players, at least. North Carolina, you know, and are all around us. But here, it's just guys fell in love with the bar table. He's crossing this ball, it looks like. No, he played the safety. Short, unless the 5 helps.
Yeah, I think the 5. Yeah.
And like we said, the Midwest, all the great, you know, bar table players from out there, the Jesse Bowman guys, Dave Matlock, Chad Vilmont.
Dave Matlock is on the bar table.
Yeah, well, he was at one time. They say he was the best. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, and he just plays the bar table a little differently.
Yeah, and
you know, he just overpowers the table.
Yeah, and Dave Matlock, you know, with that heavy cue ball, I mean, he could do some stuff that was like pretty impressive. You know, like drawing the ball with that heavy magnetic cue ball.
Yeah, they talk about Matlock in the 70s, 80s. And Keith McCready with the heavy ball back in the day. They used the mud ball, they call it. But lots of great bar table players in the Midwest, all the way up into Wisconsin. And
now, can you 1 rail kick this ball and get behind the 5? Or
it's awful hard.
Yeah, okay, so.
Sometimes when you're kicking, there isn't much of a great opportunity to kick and stick or kick with control. Sometimes, hey, I learned this the hard way. Here's a lesson.
Okay.
I played the guy many years ago, and I was out playing the guy, maneuvering it. He would push out to something where there was nothing. I'd say, go ahead. He would kick into this ball 800 miles an hour in a way that he could roll multiple balls, and it seemed like 3 out of 4 he made something and continued to get out. And I don't know if that's an actual lesson, but that's what he did. Did he just? Okay, tell me the 5 play.
I'm pretty sure. Well,
does the 5 pass?
He was frustrated. Yeah, he looks frustrated here, so I don't think that's where he was trying to get to.
Does the 5 pass the 9? Okay, it sure appeared to me he was playing the 5 for this bottom left corner here.
Right.
Yeah, and because when he shot it, he looked disgusted with himself. Now he's wiping his head and shaking his head. That's an unforced error for sure. And you know, the moment you go after this combination, you lose control and miss that, and then hang it up like I always do. He looked at it for a second, but he's not in love with it. Well, chalk that up to an unforced error, and what could have easily been 2-2 may now turn into 3-1 BJ.
Right.
Okay, he can use the possibly the 7, 8, 10 for a safety. Okay, I was looking at a totally different shot. I'm thinking of possibly thin cut the 5 to the left of the, I mean, just above the 9 here, and then back towards the center of this head rail. Spin the cue ball, head rail,
And going
side rail,
up in
all
the
the way
corner.
across the spot behind the 7, 8, 10 even, possibly. Depends on how much spin he gets.
Right.
Yeah, I might not get behind the 10, but maybe use those as big balls, but also put the 5 on the near the middle of this head rail.
Yeah.
Is that what he's trying? Yeah, okay, so
Yeah.
he's shooting that shot. He's looking to put the 5 in the middle of this head rail. Oh, he went under the balls and then back across. Look at this. If he hits the 10, it's no good. Oh, yeah, we got good.
Yeah.
Okay, if he had hit the 10 squarely, it wasn't good, but that works. He just went about it a little differently.
Now, if you're kicking at this ball, Scott, do you kick this ball 2 rails and come up behind it, or do you jump at this ball?
I really don't know. I've gotten, now that I'm not playing much pool at all in my life these days, or any to speak of,
Mm-hmm.
um, I'm less likely to go to the jump cue.
Yeah, it looks like BJ is jumping to make this ball here, because
He might have a shot at lucking the 10 in. If he hits the 10 in, if he hits it full. Oh, look at this.
oh wow.
A little too spicy. But man, he was almost there.
Yeah.
He was almost there. Okay. Yeah, he doesn't have to do much here. He could, this 10's practically hanging, so he could just go 5, 7,
8, 10.
8, 10 combo. Or go under. It doesn't matter. They're all tap-ins. No need to shoot the combo if you have the perfect angle here. Roll over and shoot the 8 in the where he's standing in that right corner. But if he's straight in, stop your ball. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Couple of twos here.
Couple of ducks. Here we go, 22.
So it's a true double elimination format. So Garcia's going to have to beat Ussery 2 sets. This first set would be a race to 9. If he's successful there, it would go into our race to 7.
Guys, if you haven't gotten in on the raffle or on the Raz here, for a chance here, $10 will get you a chance to win this Predator cue, a jump cue, and an Acme case with a couple extra accessories.
Okay, he's been hitting these balls and having his cue ball float to the left side rail. Okay, he got around the front of those and he lost control a little bit, but he's okay. Doesn't have the best shot here, but he's okay.
Yeah, he's he looks a little frustrated. He's really hammering away at these balls here on the break.
Now he's got a really good chance to make this 8 in the side, and the 1 ball will go towards the chalk on the side rail. He could play his cue ball. He's going to leg up and play a safety.
Okay.
That's probably, all things considered, the best play. I was going to get to that before he shot it.
Right.
But some of these aggressive guys, they could have shot that 1-8 combo, and the 1 would end up sort of where it is now. Play your cue ball with high right around the table 3, but that's pushing it. It really is. There's no need to do that. I think this is the most effective play.
Now, are you gonna see BJ kick this ball, come behind the 1 and send the 1 towards the 10?
Yeah, possibly. And that's a good play because, he's got a chance that if he gets 3 reels out of it and hits it fairly thick, just 2/3 thick, the cue ball goes back towards 2 maybe and safe, and the 1 comes down towards this end. Maybe between the 8, 7, maybe into the 7 and down here. I don't know. But he doesn't want to go 2 rails and then chip the one before the third rail. You'd like to hit the third rail and
come up
then
in-
the one.
right.
That way you call separation.
Yeah.
If you hit the one going in, it's going to have left English on it. Like that. Okay, see separation even though it didn't pan out the best. But he hit it very thin,
Right.
but still, the separation could have been there. And good things could have happened. They didn't here, but could have.
Yeah, that kick gave him the best opportunity for something good to happen.
Considering the 10 here. You know, play the combination here and go at the 10. He figures to still have a shot on the 1. Even the 2 maybe, if he doesn't make the 10.
Right.
Okay. Well, I guess he's glad he made the 10.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
because he's
nothing
up
on the 1.
table, Yeah.
Okay, we are looking at 3-2 Garcia. Boy, I was feeling great when I had him 6-3 or 6-. It should have been
No, he had him
6-2, and I was sick about it.
Yeah, he had him 5-1, I think it was.
Did I?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, he had him 5-1.
I'm a dog. I dogged it. Okay, here, what do you think? You stop this ball, if you have to jack up a little bit. Call me crazy, but,
Yeah, but doesn't he? I think he needs to stop this ball here because doesn't he still need to develop the?
look at
5
that.
ball?
Look how effortless. He's jacked up off the in rail. I know
Right.
it's a bar table,
Right.
but he's just so pure in his shot making, and I envy that. I'm a little jealous there. Okay, this shot must be a lot easier than oh yeah, okay. I thought it was a little tougher than that. That's why I would have considered on the first shot, maybe even playing it rail first and coming around behind it. But there was no need because that a lot better than I thought. Now, I'm thinking he's considering going
I think
2
he's tr-
rails,
I think
catch
he's-
the 10,
Yeah,
and
and
still
then-
be on the 4.
Right.
Okay, just a floated high ball, maybe a touch of right. Thinly hit, catch the 10 to maneuver
He
the 5.
catches it a little
Oh.
too thin.
He hit it a little hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he just pointed where he wanted to be.
Yeah.
He had a little too much right off of this shot because he caught the 10
Yeah.
thinly. He wanted to catch
He
it a
was-
little fuller.
Yeah, he was really anticipating using the 10 to hold for shape there, and develop the 5 out the way.
There's a case where I mentioned inexperience before,
Mhm.
but you can't say that someone that's already reached 40, you know,
Yeah, inexperienced.
is inexperienced. I just think that maybe that's his style, fast and loose. And
Right.
at the tournament scene, you know, especially when you're looking into if he plays in pro events with the best players in the world, you may see a little difference between someone his style and say someone like Shane Van Boning, Joshua Filler. You know, Skylar Woodward, American player, young guy,
Right.
still has that same mentality. He lets it fly a little bit, thinking, well, I wanted to do this, but it didn't. But, you know, some of these guys, they get, especially the Europeans, they get that robotic style about them where they're technicians. And
Right.
they really pick and choose their angles, and they're very
Mhm.
meticulous about things, and they really slow it down. Which is why some people say that they're getting us pretty regularly with the Moscone Cup.
Yeah.
They just do things a little different.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they've.
Roland's got a Fargo rate of 800. You know, and Shane Van Boning is at what, 830, so 829.
Right.
But there were lots of players that I saw around the 800 range, and it is a good indicator of speed. Although there are lots of players I've seen that have left out, or that I don't know, people have forgotten about or haven't played the tournament scene in a long time that aren't really on there. But
Mhm.
yeah, it's a good indicator of speed.
Oh yeah.
You know. So say, yeah, somewhere around the 800 range, and then he's in good company. There are a lot of great players right around there.
That's right.
Okay.
Is BJ looking to cut
Yeah,
this ball
oh,
in
definitely.
and then come around for a shape on the 5 ball?
Well, he might be going right.
Okay.
Yes. There. Made them both, and he got stuck to the 10, but I think that he's not, maybe not frozen. He's clear.
Yeah.
Even if he were frozen, I think that he's on the right side. I don't know, but he's good. He's good. He's just got to make another shot.
Now
There's a-
does-
You roll this ball, I believe. I think. Well, looking at it now, I might change my mind on that. What do you think about this angle? Is that a
Nah.
rolling ball scratch angle, or can he get to the end rail just out of the pocket?
I think he can overcut this ball just a hair to the thin side.
I think he's going to
beat
draw
this.
it away from
Okay.
that. I think he's worried about the scratch if he
Mhm.
rolls it. You know what?
So if he draws this ball, then he's looking to go like three out of the
Yeah.
corner here and
Yeah.
play shape for this side.
Yeah. No, he is rolling it. He's rolling it. It must be. Oh, I
Nah.
was wrong. I was wrong.
Oh no.
He's there.
He's,
Now, you notice how hard he hit the ball there?
mhm.
That's why he got so deep into the corner and then almost scratched on the opposite side.
Right.
That same shot, but with much less power,
Mhm.
the stroke catches, the spin catches better, and he would have pulled the 3 rails out of there effortlessly.
Mhm.
You know, some guys, when they get a little excited about a shot or a little uncertain.
Now this right here, do you draw underneath the 10 and shoot the 10 back up table, or do you just roll forward?
It depends on how much of the
The-
point is there, or if
right.
he's got good rail.
So he must have a good piece of this
Yeah.
point
Yeah.
here.
He's got to. He wouldn't have played it that way. Oh yeah. So
Yeah. Alright, notched up at 3-3 here. BJ's really looking at this rack here. Like,
yeah, it's I'm telling you, he finds that to be about the most important part
yeah,
that separates
this
one
is
player
really
to
the
the
first
next.
time I've seen him where he's racked the balls, pulled the rack away, and really kind of re-examined this thing, and something must not have just been sitting just right for him.
How do you feel about the Fargo stuff? I mean, it's a pretty good indicator, right?
Yeah,
But it's,
yeah,
I've seen some people that were way up there, and TV guys that, and I see guys well below them that I know have just heisted those guys gambling.
yeah,
but you know, maybe it has to do with tournament play.
yeah. I think because it depends on how many events that they play and where something's recorded too, and
Yeah.
and how much of a sample size you have.
And then how do you have a Fargo? That's he got around the front of this a little bit and saw his cue ball track down here towards the corner, but luckily he was still full enough on it that it wasn't a scratch.
This is the first time I've seen where the ones tracked to the back of the rack there. I don't think I've seen it all day.
Another thing with Fargo is I mean, they don't know about a lot of the players, I guess, that aren't in action. I know some good players that haven't really played many tournaments that are great players that don't get mentioned
Right.
here. But then I guess you can't put a number on those guys. So he's gotten him with the 2 here.
Yeah.
Just barely, I think. Or has he? Yes, he's definitely gotten him. He's gotten him with about a third of the ball, quarter of the ball. Enough to where he can't jump over an edge of a ball. He's so close.
Is he hit this ball with draw so he can
Is
bend
he
back?
going 2? No, he's going.
Okay.
Okay. So 3. Excuse me. Okay. Well, we're shopping at the gap, folks. Shopping at the gap. He does not want a straight-in ball on the 2. He needs angle. But then if he gets angle on the 2, then he has to deal with the 8 ball.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's a little jammed up here.
Do you?
Yeah.
You're telling no, that one plays all day. Doesn't it at home, folks? Don't you agree? The one plays all day? No, he is unscrewing. Am I drunk?
I don't know.
From here, it looks questionable. Go to the other screen and tell me that doesn't look like that ball plays. You're telling me he can't get by that 9 from this picture? Draw a straight line from the cue ball to the 9.
We don't have a telestrator.
I don't mean. I mean
Yeah,
mentally.
yeah, mentally.
Mentally, from the cue ball to the 1. I mean, cue ball to the 1. That's a straight line. I don't see that 9 being in the way. But if he broke down into a jump cue, it's in the way apparently. My goodness. See, this flip view, it looks like it's in the way. So it must be. Well, it really faked me out there. Okay, if he can see enough of this 1 to play it to this lower left corner, then he can work that cue ball 2 rails out of that corner with a reverse type hit, lower left. Hit deep though. If you draw it any, you might end up in trouble. You got to hit deep so that the left just straightens you up a little bit. Oh my
I don't
goodness.
think he had enough of it.
Must not have, because he played the safety and he hit a very good one too.
Yeah.
But if he could have played that ball, yeah, I think he'd maybe go. I don't think it's laying to where he could get a safety out of this involving the 3 and the 4. Because the way he's going to have to come in and hit it, the cue ball plays a rail and goes into those, or something funny would have to happen. Unless he kicks and catches the second rail, just narrowly misses a 6, hits a head rail, and then hits the one kind of squarely, but then it would hit the 3. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, it went long.
Yeah, that was a tough spot to be in right there.
Okay.
Because even if he had made the ball, I think he's going to run into the 3, and then that's going to kind of push it up there by the 2, and he'd still be right back to being hooked again, I think.
So
I mean,
from
even
here,
that angle was tough to even kick that ball, I think, at that speed.
from here, he would like a pretty good angle on the 2 and try to pull back into this gap, or do you hit the 3 now?
Yeah, I think he develops a 3.
Pretty smart. It's nice. That's intelligent pool. I like it. That's what I think I would have done. Go ahead and hit the 3 and get it out there. Now you just spin your ball. Slow float and side spin.
A little bump on the 10 there.
He hit that ball a little different. He hit the ball. He hit it with the top left stroke.
Mm-hmm.
I would have rolled it with a mostly left stroke and never involved the 10,
Right.
with more of the weight of the cue ball. But that's just the way that he plays. Some people have their own distinct style.
Mhm.
They get a very similar result one way versus another. I like rolling the ball because it lets the pocket play, makes it play a little bigger.
Right.
And I don't involve the 10, I think. Just, fluid stroke.
Mm-hmm.
He's good. I'm curious if he goes inside of the 9 or behind it, or on this side. Yeah, inside of the 9. I like it, and he's not worried about that side because he knows there's just enough spin on that cue ball to make sure it takes the pocket out of play.
Yeah.
Shows that he's...
Like, when he's not, like, frustrated, he's so surgical,
Yeah.
He's finding, like, these real narrow gaps to get through. I don't know if you noticed, but when Roland's shooting a stop shot or a draw shot, he tends to he kind of tends to cue like right at the felt, right before the ball, and then he almost kind of raises up into it with his stroke. The tip kind of rises into that spot, and I see a lot of European players doing that. I mean, is that something that you're familiar with?
I've seen it from all kinds of people. Yeah.
Right.
Bustamante, he aims all over the place and then he hits it. You never know where he's going to hit it.
Yeah.
And then players like American Rob Size.
Okay.
Bottom left, top right. Do you know about that?
Yeah, I mean that's one thing that I did notice
He'll
about Rob.
aim
Yeah,
like bottom left on every stroke. No
Right.
matter what he's going to put on the cue ball, he's
Right.
aiming bottom left.
Yeah.
And when he pulls the trigger, look at that cue ball control. That was great.
Yeah, that was great.
That's unbeatable right there. That's more like what BJ was doing earlier in the tournament.
Right.
But he aims bottom left on all the strokes, and then when he hits it, he may hit it a stop shot. He may
Yeah.
hit it with bottom left. He may hit it with top left. You just don't know.
Yeah, I think
Unless-
like Bustamante and Saez when they're doing that, they're getting the cue out of the way so they can sight the cue ball better, and then they
Interesting.
come through.
Yeah. Okay, so he's got to figure something out on this 7, 8, and 9. So it looks like when he gets to the 5, I think that he has the option to play the 5 in this left side and roll in between. And I think that there is a potential billiard on the 8 to the 9. A ticky shot, like a one pocket player would play. You know what a ticky shot is? Ticky.
Yeah, where you come in
You go
to the
rail, ball, rail.
That's right.
So yeah, he would go rail 8, rail 9. And the 9's pretty much a hanger from there. So he just needs to get right. And he got a little funny here to make it where he can fall in on the 7. He could even do the same shot, shoot the 7, rail 8, rail 9. Oh, he did a good job there of not putting left on the ball. But he can develop the 8-9 right here, break it out, open it up. If he can get to the rail and then chip the 8, that's the way to play it.
Yeah.
Like that.
There you go.
Yeah. It's going to be a little straight. No, he's going to be
He's
fine.
good. And
Oh,
BJ gives him the
BJ
last
says
two.
that's good.
Alright, we got a little 2-gap lead here. Yeah, Dustin Glenn. This is the first set of the finals. It's a race to 9. If Roland beats BJ, then they'll play a race to 7 for all of it.
All the marbles. I just hope they brought marbles.
It seems like they're using some type of marble
to
there.
keep score.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
keep score. I think
The
those,
little pebbles.
Yeah, I think those are the pebbles that you put in a fish tank.
Yeah, kind of like a fish tank pebble
Yeah.
or a plant or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, this kind of plays position for him. Multiple rails around the table for the 2 in the same pocket. He didn't involve the end rail there. He just floated the ball in.
Right.
That's fine. Now, this is interesting because I don't think the 3 plays in that corner where it sits. So is he looking at a safety here, or I'm wondering if he can play this back behind the 3 for a safety back. See where he just pointed?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was thinking. Just more of a stop shot, a stun shot with a little bit of below center left. Yeah, back. Oh. See all that spin on the ball?
Spin on the ball there.
Yeah, he really drew it more than stunned it. It's kind of like, a stop shot and stun shot are kind of the same hit, and then a draw stroke. Well, there's a shot in between where your cue ball sort of stuns but still pulls some, but it's not a full draw stroke where it just favors it. It's involved with that lower left hit. Okay, so there's a safe. Can he see enough of the side rail to make the 2? That's my question. Then the other thing becomes if he can't, then you play it rail first and you chip the 2. It's kind of a one pocket shot. The 2 banks the side rail then, and then goes to the head rail. The cue ball goes around 2 more rails and down behind the 5-7. He's lining it up like he can make this ball. But if he hit there and came off and hit the 2 very thinly, the 2 then is cut back into that side rail and comes to rest on the head rail. Cue ball goes around 2 rails all the way around the horn down past the 7-5. But if he tries to make it, then what with the 3?
Yeah, he's gonna have to hit this ball like real easy to like hold on that side where he can see the 3, right?
Well, I
And
mean,
then he's
anywhere, make the 2 and get anywhere over here in the upper left part of the table. He can see the 3, but he's still got to do something with it.
Right.
And okay, that's the safety.
shot.
But he hit it with too much. Yeah, that's the shot.
But
He's going to be
get
great.
safe.
But he could have scratched off the 7 there in the corner. But he hit it a little hard, and with a lot of spin. But that one with more of a rolling ball would have
Mhm.
done the same thing but gone longer and not hit the 7. But it worked out great. Oh no. Did it get him with the 3 here? That'd be tough. Tough roll. I think BJ's okay. Doesn't he appear to be, or am I wrong? See, looking from this view right here, man, it looks like 3's got him.
Yeah, it looks like he's got him because I just stood up just to kind of look at the shot. I don't want to get up again.
Well, he
because
just
BJ's
shook his
looking,
head a little bit. Yeah, he's facing this way. I'm watching his facial expression, see what I can tell. He's grimacing, he's smirking. He's apparently hooked.
Yeah.
Or at least from making it straight in. Maybe he can hit part of it, but oh, dude, this ball plays. This
Does it?
ball plays. Yeah.
Okay.
It's all theatrics, BJ. Quit faking us out. He's gonna make this too. He doesn't love it, but a little twirl here, a little lower right, and curve it away a little. It's gone. Yeah, oh my goodness, shot it firm. It's fine.
Alright, so the 9's in a funny spot here.
Well, if he goes into this 6 with the draw stroke, hits the 6, does the 6 miss the 4 entirely, or does it go 2 rails around it and the cue ball parks there at the 6? Let's see what we can tell there. You know, he doesn't necessarily even have to do that. He can slow float this ball with a dragging low right cue ball and roll it, and it hits and goes around the 4 to the short side of the 4, or he can go ahead and try to play with some inside. Yeah, he decided to hit the 6, and there's the answer to my question. It would hit the 4, and it might have burned him. That's what happens when you scramble the ball. Sometimes you take your chances, and, well, your fate awaits you, you know.
Yeah, BJ is not happy right now.
But, you know, that's just pool. I mean, sometimes it's great, sometimes you get burned. And I know he's disgusted because he's down a couple of games, and he was really thinking he gets back into here. But that's what happened. And he hit it hard. You would think they would scramble, right? But that's it. You know, the balls hit the point. They hit, you know, double kiss each other. Things happen. Well, well. It's tough to make a call on this because we can't tell if he can hit the 4 ball full, a stop shot, or if he can. It's tricky. That's for sure. Look how well he hit this. Oh my goodness, great shot. Great shot. Yeah, so he could hit it full, so that's the play for sure. He hit that well. It's a great escape too. I think he took away the side rail here from Roland, unless he Z-banks it, you know, zigzag bank. But I don't know that he can, well, maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, he can kick 1 rail around that, can he? Or is that just a camera distortion? Maybe he can't. It sure looks from this view right here that he can kick 1 rail at that 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently he can because he's lining it up. Okay. Sometimes, you know, the camera and what's live are 2 different things, but apparently he can do it.
Oh man.
Scratch.
Where's the 4 going?
Okay. So, if he wants to try and do something with this 9-10.
Do you see him shooting this ball on the side and then rolling the cue ball just to push the 9 up closer to the pocket here?
Well,
because
that's an option, but
he's got the 5 pretty close to the side.
Another option is to use the 5 to hit the 9 now.
Yeah.
He would go to the side, the end rail, and then back into the 9.
And he's got.
And then the third option is to get an angle on the 7 in the side, okay, from center table. If he gets his cue ball center table, play the 7 in the side, go 3 rails in between the 9-10 with English and pick the 10 off. Or maybe there's more gap than we realize, just cut the 9 in.
Yeah, there must be. Yeah, there must be.
Okay. Okay, he didn't get there to go 3 rails, so maybe he can just cut the 9 in, because he didn't give it a lot of thought. So maybe it's just easy to cut the 9. And then if he had to,
yeah.
Yeah, see, it's you can't always tell from here. so he's got his pick of what to do.
So just inside spin here and go around.
Well, if he feels like playing this ball, if he's sure that there's plenty of room tonight, he can just inside it, or he could just double the cushion short side, which is not usually your best option.
Huh?
Yeah, he had enough to double the cushions on the outside and come back for the 10, so that's good.
All right.
You know, BJ is one guy that over the years has stayed full on with pool from what I know. You know, I don't know a lot about his life, but I do think he's stayed pretty steady with playing pool for a good long time and never really gave it up like some of us did and kind of stopped doing it and doing so many other things. And you have to admire dedication to that. He's been driven to have success, and now he's having, you know, it's great.
Yeah.
I know so many players that have just abandoned it entirely. They don't really play at all, but they were talented players. I'm talking about, you know, the kind of players that won many open tournaments, maybe even some pro events. And you know, I think Stevie Moore, for example.
Yeah.
He's a family man and has regular 9 to 5. There are lots of great players out there that are pro players that have full 9 to 5s. You know, in pro, by the way, it doesn't mean that you carry some card in your wallet or so. Or you're part of it. It is a measure of ability.
Yeah.
If you're at a certain level, you know, where you're a pro player, and I know some people take a technical, an exact definition of professional, meaning you do it as a profession, as a job. But we're talking open class players, pool players that
Play at a high level.
that play at the highest level, and you know, because for a long time people were talking about pros, and they say, you know, Efren Reyes, Johnny Archer, and named a couple others, and then they didn't consider all the other pros out there.
In between.
They're upper echelon pros, they're mid-level pros, lower level pros. You know, but once you get a certain level, those guys are pro level players. You know.
That's right.
And some guys, will win more of the tournaments. The cream rises to the top. But yeah, there are definitely some pro players that have full-time jobs.
Yeah.
You know, lots of good players out there.
That's a good example right here, BJ. You know,
Does he? I thought he was a full-time player now.
No, that's what I thought, and then I had dinner with him last night, and found out that, you know, BJ works full time. You know, he works full time in a restaurant.
Well, I know he used to do that. I didn't realize he did that. Now I thought he had stopped that.
Somebody actually corrected me on the chat yesterday when I said that. So, you know, apparently he's still there.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I knew he had that was something. Okay.
Right.
But there are lots of players out there that are really high-level players, and I'm sure the guys in the chat can tell us. But Jamie Barracks, I think, isn't he a full-time? Donnie Mills out of Florida.
Right. Yeah. Donnie Mills out of Florida. Great with the 9-ball break there. I mean, that guy breaks the balls good playing 9-ball. I mean, he's got that thing kind of figured out.
Well, yeah, he's figured out and tricked a lot of people with all that. Beat a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are lots of great players out there around the country that, you know, that don't play on some tour or travel the country week to week and play all the events.
Right. It costs money to travel and play in these things, and then you got to beat, you know, the top level just to win. Win, you know, what I think is kind of a small amount of money for that type of effort. Jamie Bruce says that BJ plays full time. Okay. And Jamie would know because Jamie played on the stream earlier. So he's close with BJ, so he would know.
There's we mentioned Donnie Mills. I'm going to tell you a story about Donnie. This was pretty hilarious.
Okay.
Donnie Mills and Corey Doole, they're rack technicians. They know the ins and outs of the rack.
Right.
They know smart shot. I think he's safe. He does give up a potential jump here, but okay, let's talk about Donnie.
Right.
He was at the U.S. Open one year. Have you been up there to the pool room? Not where the Open is held, but the pool room. When everyone leaves the tournament site, then they go to the pool room. Q Master Billiards. And where it was, it's no longer the U.S. Open. That was bought by Sky Sports, I believe, and now the U.S. Open is held in Vegas.
Yeah.
Now that tournament that's held in Chesapeake, Virginia, is called the International something maybe, Sky Sports event. But anyway, U.S. Open has always been until recently in Chesapeake, Virginia, Norfolk area. Donnie Mills was there at the pool room. Warren Kiamko kept barking at him to play. Come on, Donnie. I'll give you the 7-8 playing 10 ball or something like that. And I couldn't believe it. Wow. I mean, Donnie's a great player. And Kiamko was offering him, look at this shot. And he managed to hold the cue ball and almost make it. What a shot.
You got the shape, you want the 10 too? Jesus Christ.
Wow, what a shot. What a
Yeah.
great shot. He was at, look, notice the draw stroke, because that was a pretty good cut.
Yeah.
I mean, he really held that. That was strong to have that cue ball landing and drawing and caught that quick. That's very good. So, what are his options for the 3? Does the 3 play in the upper left corner? Okay, from far right side of the table it does. So he can get there.
Off the rail a little.
Yeah, so this is just a high ball and go across for the 4 in the same pocket. He could implement a touch of right, but I don't think it's necessary. He'll just have a little more cut if he doesn't. Okay, so Donnie and Warren Kiamko. Come on, Donnie, let's play some 10 ball. I'll give you the 7-8-9 playing 10 ball. And I couldn't believe that, you know. But he kept saying, Donnie said, no. He said, but I will play some even rack your own 9 ball.
Right.
No, if you've been to the U.S. Open and you're in the back room there where all the players play when they match up and all, Garcia up by 2. There's a big wooden bleacher seating section that is many rows high.
Right.
And so you can go way up to the top and sit there and watch the whole room there and watch all the action. Well, when Donnie said, but I will play some even rack your own 9 ball, I've never seen the Filipinos run down the stairs like that. He came sprinting down the steps. The guys, there was a group of them up there, and they were reaching in their pockets, pulling out money. How much you want to bet? I'll bet you 5,000. I'll bet you this. I'll get 1,000 on the side. Of money flying. People come running up to Donnie on the table. They're hitting a few balls around. I couldn't believe it. They just sprinted to the table. They ended up playing a long race for pretty big money, and it was hilarious. Donnie robbed him. I watched the guy put a 6-pack, a 7-pack over and over, and anyway, it was pretty funny because he just stole the money.
Yeah.
Because he and Corey Dool had figured out this 9-ball racking thing,
Right.
and so they had figured out how to get the corner ball to go consistently, or excuse me, not just the corner ball, but rack your own 9-ball with the rack,
Right.
And Donnie soft break the balls, make the corner ball every time, play position to the ball, and it's just tap, tap, tap.
Yeah.
My friend started watching it and said, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. I've watched him run the last 5 racks, and I still couldn't tell you if he's a good player or not. And I said, well, I assure you he is, but he has figured something out that the Filipinos couldn't figure out. They came down after the match was over, and Kiamko just got crushed. They couldn't figure it out. They were trying to rack the balls the same way and couldn't get the same results. Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Aranda, about that. Sometimes people ask and they want it to be lighthearted. Sometimes some people sit in the booth and we talk nothing about but the shots. But that becomes a little simplistic here because we all know, for the most part, what's going to happen 9-ball on the bar table. So,
Yeah,
if you want us to try to call shots, if that would make you happy.
Well, we're not gonna make everybody happy here. Like,
Right.
Let's be realistic.
So we try to keep it lighthearted. This isn't an ESPN production. We're just trying to bring you some good pool. So we hope you enjoy that at least.
Yeah. It's free. Enjoy it, bro.
We're not compensated for this. We're just having fun here.
So, anyways, let's take a look at this. The 1 must not pass here. So.
You get 'em, Jim. Oftentimes you see amateur players just say, why doesn't he just shoot the 1-3 combo? Well, it's because that's how these guys are professional players. They want to play something that is more certain, that is almost guaranteed, that is foolproof. So they really search, and he may end up doing it. And you would expect that he's going to make that any drill that But sometimes they really study something like that, and they'll go with something else, and people are like, why didn't he just shoot the combo?
Like,
Well,
it's
there he
so-
liked it, but there are times when he may not, and he might think a safety might be the way to go. Notice the drag stroke there?
Yeah.
He hit it with a let-up draw.
Mhm.
The ball drew the first foot and a half
And
of
then
the
it
shot,
rolls
and
forward.
then it paused and turned over and went forward. Okay, he needs to fall pretty straight on the 6, don't you think?
Yeah.
To hold for the 7 all the way up.
I think that yeah, you've got to shoot the 7 down in the corner here.
But see, I like what he's looking at, the 7 in the side. If the 7 goes in the side, that's where I want to play it. So he wants a little angle on the 6 to get back center table.
Mhm.
If the 7 goes in the side, even with the little rub on the 9,
But it leads you to the 8 because
Yeah.
you can go off
Yeah.
of the 9.
even with a thin rub on the 9 with some right spin, he goes in for the 9.
Right.
So, yeah, this tells me that he's going to come back center table near where he is now,
Mhm.
and then he's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, because I guess if he tries to play it down there in the corner, you know, he's gonna have to play like short side shape on the 8 or something because the 9's in the way. So yeah.
Oh, move it.
Oh,
But look,
no.
okay, he's good.
He gotta,
He's good,
Yeah.
but he didn't have to be, right?
Yeah, he didn't have to be there.
How many times have you shot something like that and frozen
Yeah,
up the
just
7 ball
welded
and
up
off?
on it. Yeah.
And even Roland, we've seen him do something like that and thinking he's going to come out fine and then get burned. Some players, they live by the sword, die by the sword. They don't mind, just whipping it around a little bit and taking their chances, figuring to come out the favorite, okay most of the
So
time.
it looks like he's gonna cut the 7 and then go 2 rails and stay shaped between the 9 and the 10.
Just drag over it, yeah.
Golly.
Something simple, right?
Yeah, it doesn't look like that, when I'm looking at it on the screen here. But
So many people have a little fear of this kind of shot because it's a thin cut. It means your cue ball travels, right?
right.
But do you hit the 10? Do you hit the 9? Can he drive it? Okay,
I mean,
that's even better. See, doesn't it look so? It looks so much thinner, but here
Yeah.
live, and then he spins it outside, so
Right.
it says it was a fuller hit than we recognized. Yeah, it's the visual. I don't know. It's a little bit of a trick.
yeah.
You bump another ball, I might bump the first one. Bump balls straight in.
BJ's complaining on the
Yeah,
side.
I hear him.
Well, we hear from the chat here that that's definitely Roland. That's his style. Is very aggressive.
Right.
And maybe Jamie knows more about his play than I do, but that's just what I've gathered. He's pretty aggressive.
Hey, I think that's my towel too. You find that towel?
They're having a little fun at the table. Garcia looking to break. Let's see what this looks like. Okay, pretty good square hit there. Good square hit. Look at the balls. 9 balls running up to the pocket.
And last ball
last
rolling.
ball. Yep.
Yeah,
'Kay.
sorry guys, the control panels froze for a second here. The score is 7-4 though.
Well, this is where the big brains come out in pool. Okay, he's considering a tricky jump, pushing out to a tricky jump. So playing off the 8, roll up behind the 7, and dare BJ to try to jump it in. He's like, I can do it. See if you can do it. So if you're BJ, it's like, man, I don't know if I want to give this back to this guy, but you have to, don't you? I mean, unless you're really, really good yourself with the jump cue, and he's got a full ball to get over. Yeah, it didn't take him long to say, go right ahead, sir. And the jump cues have gotten so good over the years, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, I've gone through probably a handful of myself until I found one that was comfortable for me.
Yeah. Oh, he hit it great.
Wow.
Look at that, and he got the ball drawing right after
Yeah.
contact. I mean, man,
Yeah.
he is pinpoint with that thing. He's
Yeah.
very good with it. Okay, well now he can let that aggressive stroke out. He goes in and out, in between the 7-8 and back out, towards where the 3 is now. Center table, and then he can play the 4 from there. There was a jump cue called the Flying Eagle. You ever heard of that? Okay, look at this. All of a sudden, I thought he would get with that aggressive stroke, the guys that like to draw there, and then he let it go natural right around the 8 with a touch of inside. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay, that's a shot that if you hit too full on this 4 ball hanging, you're scratching the side. You want to cut that ball parallel with the rail so that you come about a diamond away from scratching. Now he's great. Well, have you ever heard of the credit card jump?
Yeah, I think I seen Larry do.
Larry Neville.
Yeah, I seen him do that one time.
Well, Larry Neville was one of the few guys out there that could do that. Yeah, Larry Neville did it. I did it. Credit card jump. The credit card width away, about a millimeter away. Good shot. Oh, and he almost manufactured a problem. Let's see if this 9-10 billiard is on. It's still a little bit of a problem, but he may be able to billiard this 10 easily. So we'll know if he goes ahead and starts shooting that the billiard is on. But yeah, I used to do that credit card jump, you know, and I with that the Flying Eagle, a man named Del Chilton, I think he was out of Wisconsin, made that for me, or Minnesota, Wisconsin, I think Minnesota. But I think a few players had them, and he even had me at his booth doing exhibitions with it because I got pretty good with it. And I learned something from a player, Smokey Bartlett. You ever heard of Smokey Joe Bartlett?
Mm-mm.
This
Tell
guy,
us about him.
this guy could jump with the shaft jump, one-handed, a ball, a chalk width away, and then draw back into the ball and make it inside. Like he put the cue ball at the side and then put a chalk width and put the ball. He would jump the ball and draw back into it. So I learned some of that stuff watching him, and I started fooling around with it. And I got pretty good at shaft jumping. Then I used the full jump cue, the Flying Eagle, to jump, use the credit card jump. And I could do it right-handed, one-handed, left-handed, one-handed, or with 2 hands. So I was proud of that. I filmed a little mini commercial for that. Did he go too far for the billiard? I did that, I think, playing BJ. This 9 goes.
It must go.
Oh my goodness, he's doing magic tricks.
A little deceptive there on the screen.
Magic tricks.
Yeah,
Our chat knows some players.
Richard Kilgore says he put a nasty jump on me that I'm gonna have nightmares with. yeah, Richard had a good tournament. I want to say Richard finished. What was it? Fourth through fifth.
Something like that. Yeah. Okay. Well, that almost scratching the side, from where he broke from the left side, that tells you that he didn't hit the ball squarely.
Right.
He got around the front of that ball just a hair. And often it doesn't.
My shot, I usually don't get to see the one.
Bounce back and hook in the side.
I'm serious. I was just waiting for a second.
Guys, the score is 8-4. We're just having a couple problems here with the control panel. Roland is on the hill.
BJ sounded a little bit like Earl Strickland right there, complaining about, oh, finally I get to see the one. I just don't get to see it.
Yeah, and I don't know that he's talking that loud on purpose. I think because he's got those headphones in, he can't really gauge how loud he's talking.
So the question becomes, can he thin the 1 and play the 8? We can't tell by the angle, or does he shoot the 1 off billiard the 3, play the 8? And it's looking like that must be on. So all the things that he'll calculate in this shot is, does the 1 cut the 8 to the left a little bit and then go up under the 4? And because of that, should he roll up like that? See, like that. So the 1 doesn't now play in the side, does it? Should he have instead rolled his ball? Oh, it must, because he's going to cut it. Okay. But had it gone another 1/4 inch, it wouldn't have played in the side. So my question becomes, should he have rolled that ball and rolled his cue ball forward to be straight in? But it all worked out, so no matter. How do you like to avoid this 9 ball, Calvin, if this is you? Can you roll this ball, lag it, go right around it? Or do you use inside to straighten it up and come back?
I think I go around it.
Yeah, okay. Speed comes into that a little bit, judgment. And
He looks like he's just drawing away from it.
Okay. He liked snip drawing it and playing the 3 in the side. Now the issue is, can he just tuck his cue ball right here and still see the 4? Or would you want to go forward to this side of the 7 and then come back? He could even draw this ball. He could draw it from the back rail. He could have played it 2 rails out of the corner. You have so many options. Once you learn some moves, some strokes, how to move the cue ball different ways, you end up with lots of options. And this is good. This is Tom Cruise pool right here. Got the 3 ball, the 4 ball, and then the 10 ball to stop you when you shoot the 5. If you even need it, you may not even need it. You could definitely nudge that 10 away.
Going to the 10, just ever lightly.
This gives him a great angle on the 7, so just sort of kill his ball near the spot here. Right. Oh, he's going to stroke it and going forward. Okay. Yeah, same angle, just with a rolling ball and back. Proper angle across the table. Tic-tac-toe. This is when pool's easy, right?
Alright. 8-5.
8-5, that's right. Disregard the score here on the screen. It's not right. Some computer issues. Guy says 8-4. Is it 8-4 or 8-5?
It's 8-5.
Yeah, 8-5.
BJ hasn't moved his coin or his bead yet.
His little pebble.
Yeah. Let me see if I can get this fixed for us real quick.
How many times did we have this problem when me and you were sitting in here?
None.
None.
Well, I'm really surprised at that. He switched sides. For so long, he seemed to have that break tuned in from the left side, and then he switched over to the right there. Lost a little bit of control, but not much.
Alright, so we got the score fixed here for you guys. Now, did BJ switch sides on that break?
He did.
I couldn't see.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys were doing some computer stuff here, and but BJ did. He switched sides for some reason, and got a ball down. He just has to figure out how to deal with some issues, and not too difficult, I don't think, in the grand scheme of things. The 8, 9, 10. Whoa! Now he really got a hold of that one.
Yeah.
I don't. He, well, overstroked it, but he's good.
I thought I'd hit the 5 for sure.
Well, you heard him say right there, he thought he would hit the 5 for sure. He's trying to nudge the 5. So can he make this and hold for the 4? Or spin? Okay, spin by.
Oh,
He's good. This is a shot that I expect to see him drag this ball with a little bit of a lower left spin and come back across the table for the 5 on the right side, I'm thinking. Well, I don't know. Looking at it now, he could load up with, high inside, striking the cue ball. Mostly side spin. You don't need a lot of top if you're going with a high inside. You need more side spin to grip that rail.
right, make it
Because
bite.
top doesn't help necessarily, because you're getting to the rail regardless if you have
Yeah.
top or not. You need side spin to grip this rail.
Yeah, get it to really bite there.
Yeah, and it'll spin 2 reels and for the 5 on the side, but I think he'll have a cut still. No, he did the last. It looked like he was going to go that way, and he switched up to the shot that I suggested first, that lower left drag. But he played it to the careful side, notice. He didn't try to get straight in and risk the scratch. That does mean they'd have to move the cue ball a little bit. There we go. Okay. Now the question becomes, does he get the angle on the 7 into the side rail and disturb those 3 balls? Or even shoot the 8 up here and hit the balls? Or does he try to really spin the cue ball around towards center table, play the 8 in the corner where the 7 will go, and then go into the 9-10? What do you think if you had to make a decision now, Calvin? What do you like?
I like using the 8 to break out the 9 and the 10. So
Well, yeah, that's what we're saying. For
yeah.
sure, you're doing that. But which way? Because, see, he can float up near where the 6 is.
I think you float. I think you float forward with the on the 6 ball here, and then well, I guess if you come around 9 and 10.
I like what he did. You know why? He gets a little straighter here. Now that allows him to easily get to center table with a driving high left ball. If he would have been, say, 3-4 more inches to the left of where he is, or say 6 inches, he's got to cut the 7, and he doesn't have a direct route forward. So he has to really work the cue ball to get 3 rails out of it. You see where he's pointing?
Yeah.
He played this great. This is exactly the way I think he should have played it. Because if he's a foot to the left, the shot does not play near as easily. Now he has a huge area to fall in. All he's got to do is get anywhere out in the middle of the table and don't get straight. He's maybe overstroked it. Okay. Well, now what? If there's no angle.
There's no angle.
Well, the combo may be easier than we thought. Okay, look at that. Yeah, there's 2/3 of a ball width in there. He can manipulate that combo. You know, he does have a slight angle towards the 9-10. He maybe can nudge this 10 away with a punch and float forward. Just nudge it over 2-3 inches. Like, oh, okay. Yeah, he didn't even have to do that. Just barely touch it, the 9 straight in the side. So.
All right, good out.
So Omega Billiards, don't they have a huge booth at the Derby every year?
They do. Every year at the Derby. Actually, I want to say I bought my cue from Omega back in 17. I got like one of the first carbon fiber shafts in this area, and yeah, definitely a good company.
Now I'm seeing in the chat we have Brian Parks.
Yeah.
Now, is this the Brian Parks that has won the U.S. Amateur like
3 or
18
4.
times?
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian, what's going on with you, man? You better quit. You better quit doing that. That's not fair of you. Give these guys a chance. Yeah, Brian Parks, man, he's a great player.
Yeah.
And then they talk about, oh, he's an amateur. No, stop calling him that. You know, Brian Parks is a champion.
Yeah, Brian Parks is actually one of my, I guess, CTE brethren.
Oh, really?
With Stevie Moore. So yeah, what's up, Brian? Yeah, I believe he's an indoor instructor as well. Definitely plays good.
He wants that one to go.
Oh, I'm just gonna just sit up there.
That's what happens on my break.
Yeah, right. BJ, come on now.
Yeah,
I'm going to have to call you out on that. That's what happens on my break.
Yeah.
Did he switch sides again? He did, right?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No, BJ's been breaking the balls great.
Right.
All weekend.
He's been by far the best this weekend breaking the balls.
Yeah.
I don't know why he would switch sides, but
earlier his buddy Jamie Bruce said in the chat that he switched sides because he was reading what the rack was giving him out. It might have, over the course of the weekend here, that spot where they're racking the balls, that it might have changed a little bit where something's just not sitting just right. So.
Do they know BJ? Because let me tell you, no, BJ's not going to let a rack stand that isn't right. I don't think. And he's going to sit there and rack the balls until they're right. And it's not like 9-ball where there's that dead corner ball. The balls are racked right and frozen up. Especially with breaking outside the box, where the 2 balls behind the 1 aren't wired for the side with the right speed and square hit. I've always found that the chat guys that we get, they're always very knowledgeable.
Oh,
The chat players, these guys are players just like us. They're out there all around the country and all around wherever, and they're so knowledgeable, and oftentimes they'll see a shot that we're not thinking about because we're talking about things and doing computer work or keeping score or any of that.
yeah.
Or moving cameras around if we have that set up for that. The mouse here. But yeah, I'm glad we have these chat guys. Sometimes they see something, a diamond in the rough. So, where's everybody watching from out there? I'm curious about that.
Yeah, guys, let us know what part.
Brian Parks, he's a California guy,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
Yeah. Richard. Charleston, North Carolina. Kansas City. You play in Olathe? That's a great room there.
Bakersfield, yep, that's the Brian Parks we're thinking.
Yeah.
Preston Owens is inside the
Yeah.
building.
Yeah. Chase is a local. Somewhat. Well, local where I am. Northeast Columbia, South Carolina. Gettysburg, PA. There was a pool room right there. Gettysburg. There was a pool room right near Gettysburg. I can't remember. We were up there for the Super Billiards Expo, and I think people went over to a pool room there nearby where there was action after hours.
Where was that?
Can't
In
think of the name.
Gettysburg?
Yeah, near there, somewhere near Gettysburg. I remember going right around Gettysburg.
Okay. The Super Billiards Expo is usually either
Yeah.
Atlantic City or
Super Billiards Expo?
yeah.
No,
that's-
King of Prussia, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, King or now
Unless
it's
they
in King,
moved it.
now it's in King of Prussia, but for a couple years there, Alan Hopkins had to switch venues a couple of different times. Like one time he had it actually at the Philly Civic Center. One time,
Yeah.
I used to live up there in
Nashville,
that area.
JOB Billiard Club. Somerville, Philippines.
says
Oh,
Jacksonville.
Johan Chua. Hey,
Oh, Johan Chua in the chat, guys.
I'm telling you, we're getting champions everywhere.
Yeah.
Jacksonville,
If I take it, I'm gonna get hooked.
Iowa. I'm wondering anywhere near
I wanna shoot it
what
back,
part of
but I
Iowa?
get stuck behind
We go up to Iowa for the what's the big Midwest Q Expo up there at Big Dog Billiards in Des Moines. Yeah, I liked it up there. That was great. Iowa, we had the went to Zombie Burger. That was my favorite place. I ended up eating there several days. Ate way too many burgers, but
Zombie
it was
burger,
excellent.
huh?
Yeah, Zombie Burger. Listen, I had a burger called the Undead Elvis. It had peanut butter on it, a fried egg. You gotta look it up. Zombie Burger. Look up Zombie Burger and the Undead Elvis and what all is on it.
No.
Are you
BJ
surprised that BJ didn't take that shot?
Yeah, I'm really surprised. You know, BJ's like frustrated because he just feels like his luck's not good or something. He
He
said,
said if I take it, I'm hooked.
yeah. But Johan Garcia shoots it and runs into the 4 and gets shape on the 2.
Concord, North Carolina. Okay, up there near Charlotte, I think, or above maybe. Music City Open, Nashville, JOB. You ever been to JOB Billiard Club?
I have not.
No. Old classic, JOB. Music City Open. Yeah, they play on the diamond bar tables with the template rack 9-ball, and I think Skylar, it was Skylar. It ran the set on somebody. It's like a race to 13 or something. Ran the set, or maybe 11. I don't remember. What is
That's like a
you
couple
guys
years
out there?
ago,
What
right?
is JOB? Yeah, but then he did it later on. He ran like 10 in a row, or there was another player that did it too, something like that. It's just so easy with the corner ball going every time, and they kept getting repeatable outcome. And Spartanburg, South Carolina. There was a great pool room in Spartanburg years ago. I played Buddy Hall there one time, and
Did you? That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I've done a little commentary with Buddy, but played him in a tournament. It was a funny experience. He cut me off going back to the chair. He jumped up to the table and got down in his stance, and I couldn't go back to my chair, so I just backed away from the table to be
Right.
polite, you know. And he stopped and he stood up. He looked all around and finally found me over there. And I was standing back to be respectful because I couldn't get back to my chair. And he walks up to me and says, you mind sitting down while I'm playing? Did he overamp it with inside? Almost, but
Almost.
he's good. Now this is the shot that's always beautiful. You twirl this ball with just a touch of left here, stun it, hit between 9 and the 5 on the side rail, and come right back on the 5. Yeah, he said, you mind sitting down while I'm playing? Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
Okay, a rare missed shot. That's like the dodo bird. You don't see too many of those. Yeah, rare missed shot here. That's huge. That was, hey, look, he was in line to go ahead and win this first set. And now,
Yeah.
who knows, BJ might. Can you imagine if BJ comes back and wins this set?
Yeah,
He's going to be sick about that shot, and he'll remember it forever.
for sure. Yeah, huge miss there.
That was a real good shot.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Talk in the chat here.
Yeah, I'm looking at that too.
Gotta disagree there. Remember, pro is a measure of ability. BJ is a professional pool player. He is a professional player, no doubt about it. I mean, what more do you need to do to be considered professional? I mean, look, there are pros out there that don't want any of him.
No, definitely.
I could name them, but we'd be
Yeah,
like,
let's not put them out there like
yeah,
that.
but there are pros that are pros,
Yeah.
okay, that do not want to play BJ any dead even,
Right.
any rotation pool, I should say. Remember, there are tiers of pros. You know, you have the upper echelon tier, and then you have, they drop down from there, you know. But for sure, a professional player.
Yeah. Myron says that Josh O'Neill's run several racks at the Music City Open. Do you know Josh O'Neill?
Sure do.
Yeah, a great player. I mean,
Mhm.
I watched him at the Derby. He had Niels Fine beat, and Niels looked unbeatable that year because I mean he was breaking the balls the best out of anybody, and Josh O'Neill had him on the hill needing 2 games, I think it was, and Niels comes back and beats him. But yeah, Josh O'Neill definitely a great player. Alright, BJ with them one here. Tied up the hill here. Alright, now he went back to the side that he was breaking it from before.
Here's a case where he kind of has his choice of what to do with the 1 to the 2. You know, I see possibly cutting the 1 in and just going down straight down table to the end rail and then back a little bit. And he's got the 2 down here in this corner where the 10 sits.
Right.
Okay, some people like to let the stroke out, go ahead and dice the 1 across and go head rail all the way down, foot rail all the way down back here towards the head string and have the 2 in the side. You know, the pocket's going to play larger if you float it in and just go down past the 2, down to the end rail. If you hit it hard and rub the rail going in, it could jar up. How many guys do you think out there are saying, fire at the 10, go for the 10?
These guys seem pretty knowledgeable. I don't think you're gonna have too many guys in the chat that are gonna tell this guy to shoot at the cheese. Especially when you just.
Oh no, not at this level. I was joking.
Yeah,
Because
especially
it's
when you
highly
just scrap
missable.
back.
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
I see a lot of, you know, starting out players that say a lot of that.
Yeah, most of the guys in the chat here are pretty knowledgeable from what we've seen in the comments so far.
Yeah, for the most part, that's true. They tend to be that way. All you guys out there tend to know your stuff about pool. You know, they wouldn't be up at this late hour watching this tournament, you know, if they
Yeah.
were just casual
Yeah,
fair
just
weather
casual.
fans.
Yeah, exactly.
Good shot.
Yeah.
Oh, he went for the 10. Does that surprise you?
That surprises me.
There's a pretty good roll there,
Yeah.
and it doesn't allow one row kick, side pockets in the way, the 3's in the way. You definitely get 2 at it, but that's pretty interesting because the
Yeah.
ball played, the 2's routine,
Mhm.
the 3 everything's open, 4 is
Yeah.
hanging. That's a little surprising.
Yeah, that's really surprising. I mean, geez, like, we're over here, like, kind of saying it as a joke, but, I mean, BJ went for that.
You know, it was playable, but it's just so easy that if it rubs the rail, the point going in, it hangs out.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Huh, interesting. That's hard to do. Look at the 4 ball now. Half of the 4 or more is hidden from looking down the rail.
yeah. Cody Blair says it was a two-way shot that he was shooting on when he was shooting at the 10 ball a minute ago.
Well, he's talking about the 1 ball banking 2 rails, and then,
And then how he had him sitting behind the two.
well, they got to roll getting
yeah,
behind the 2
yeah,
for sure.
I was gonna say,
But,
tough to
it's-
judge that one there.
But isn't that surprising to you that a player at this level with balls that
Yeah,
are available in
That was
play?
his shot selection.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a little surprising,
Very
but
surprising.
I think I understand because in the
Now-
moment
now
you're
can
out there.
you kick this one and then go towards the 10 ball like that.
Yeah, that's the way. Now my concern is if he wants to go to the foot rail and spin back, he needs some right on this. Is the 10 in the way, or does he have space? Oh, I believe he's got some space to do this. Play the 2 in the side with some right.
Mm-hmm.
Go down and then spin back for the 3. Straightened it up. Nice. Well, this is a little bit of an interesting turn of events. Yeah, I understand why he's taking a minute for this. You know, for him to cut the 4 and not hit the 6, he wants to keep the 6 there.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if it came down to it, could he play the 4 off the 6, hit the 4 full, and roll the 6 up?
I went rail first there.
Yeah, that's something else that, yes, that I thought he might have to do to not move the 6 and gain position. So, it's looking like this ties up at 8. Man, what a good match. I
Yeah.
agree, Scott Youngman. Let's go double hill. Well, I see. We have Dominic Dunn in the chat. No, isn't Dominic Dunn that name? Isn't he a crime on TV? You know what I'm talking about? The Dominic Dunn show. No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
Do you guys know what I'm talking about out there? Dominic Dunn. There's a show like on Crime Channel or ID, the Dominic
okay.
Dunn. Look it up. Somebody help us out there. Dominic Dunn. Oh boy. Now listen, to go double hill, would you want this shot or would you be shaking in your boots?
I'm always shaking in
Because
my boots.
you're on the rail. You're worried about topping down and scratching in the far corner, but with a shade of right, there is no scratch. Oh, he pure
There it is. Like,
hit it
there.
purely. Double thrills.
Wow. This is not the guy you want breaking here on the hill if you're sitting in the chair, because
That's
this
right.
guy's been breaking good.
You know, years ago, I actually staked Shane one time.
Did you?
A buddy and I went in and we staked Shane to play Dennis Okoye out in Vegas. I set bar table, 8 ball. Or was it bar table 10 ball?
Right.
I don't know. But it was crazy because I watched him break and break and break, and they played for hours. And I don't think Shane's cue ball ever hit a side rail, maybe once.
Control is just
Yeah.
amazing.
I've got a picture of Shane breaking the balls. We were in Beloit, Wisconsin, and the moment he's rearing back to hit the balls, and then the very next frame, the very next picture, the cue ball is airborne right in front of the rack, and it's formed a line like a track line, like when you see an exposure camera like of cars lights on the interstate like taillights, they form a long red line.
Yeah.
It was like that, but the cue ball was like no, just like a bunch of white dots coming back off of the stack, and it bounced back about 3 feet, parked just between the head string, sort of in the side pockets.
Yeah, the first time I ever saw him was he was playing in a tournament in Atlanta, or I don't think he was even in the tournament, to be honest. He was back there playing Troy Frank on this
Yeah.
really tight table, giving him the 8 ball, and nobody really knew who it was then. Who's this kid giving Troy Frank the 8 ball? And he was just heisting him with that break. I mean, back then he hit that break like a robot. Every time he hit it, it just popped right up, sat back down right in the center of the table.
Yeah, it's crazy. I watched him break one time just for practice his break for 2 hours, and crazy.
Yeah, so they're taking a little break here. Trevor Brown saying break and run, calling it. Yeah, I mean, BJ's had a lot of break and runs playing on this table today, so it wouldn't surprise me.
Wouldn't have it any other way. That's how it needs to be.
Yeah, that's how you win a set. All right, Hill, BJ's break. What was BJ down when Roland got to the hill? Was it 8-5? Was it
Something like that. Yeah. Now we're tied up, and this is the first set. It may only take this one if BJ wins. If BJ loses, we'll play another. Go to 7. Power. Privilege and Justice. Is that the name of the show? I think so. Sounds right.
Okay, never mind.
Okay, now, we got the fist bump saying good
Yeah.
luck to you, buddy, from both players. And here we go. Double hill, here's the break. He's back at his original spot with the BJ mark there.
One on the side. Two on the corner. Oh,
Look at this
break.
layup.
Oh,
BJ's bumping
he's
the fist.
loving it here.
Look at the 3, 4, 5. Oh my goodness.
Jeez.
And Garcia just looks crushed over here.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I don't know that I've seen an easier break
Yeah.
all weekend. I mean, an easier layout all weekend
Yeah.
than this.
Wow, what a break on the hill here. Yeah, BJ was pumped up after he hit that break. As he should be.
That one like a puss.
Hmm.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
We did that real good. So.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Well,
I'm really shocked at this.
I mean, it's not like it's not doable, but I mean, it didn't have to be this way.
Yeah, because now you have to risk, or pay attention to what your cue ball does cross side. Where you going, with the 6, what's going on there. Your cue ball's going to crowd that area unless you use English. And so you really, man. And you know what? I know what he's feeling right now. It's a sick feeling
Yeah.
because you had just a layup.
Yeah.
It's like you're a fast break basketball player,
And there's
and
nobody
you go
around
up
the
and
rim.
you miss the dunk,
Yeah.
to win the title or something.
And I've been saying it all weekend, like, I mean, we want to give these guys these outs, but I mean, funny things just happen.
Okay, he made a great recovery.
Alright.
Great recovery.
Oh, okay. Now he's back in
If
it.
he has any angle to his left, he's golden. But this, man, it looks a little straight from here. Okay, so apparently he has some angle because he's indicating he can get over here. I sure would like to see it from the... Ooh. That's
Yeah.
a little tricky, but he's got to jam it. But yeah, he can get there. Ooh.
Always a little bit of drama here at
Yeah.
the end.
How many times have you seen somebody try to cheat it just an extra hair and the
Oh
ball
my
goes
God,
blip, blip,
yeah.
and comes out?
I was already thinking that.
Oh,
Wow, that
okay,
could
he
be
had more than I
great.
thought. More than I thought. And I don't think it's an issue now. Now he can
Yeah.
smooth it forward 2 rails. We'll watch the freckles spin on the cue ball. A little high left. He didn't really put a lot of left. He just hit it with a force and high ball and it hooked. Okay.
Alright.
So does he have the sufficient angle just to drag it up the rail, hit
What's
just
that?
before, or draw it? Yeah, stun across. Okay, he had an angle to do either one of that he wanted. This is for the tournament, folks. Here we go. BJ Ussery. Man, what a great match.
That was
What a great match, Calvin. I was glad I was
Yeah.
here for it.
Yeah, from 8-4 down, and